Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Friday live sessions with Daniel Smith. John would love, and he tried to be here, but unfortunately the timing was not good. So he's saying hello from South Korea. He'll be here soon. For the moment, I will be hosting the session today. I thank you all for being here, and especially I would like to welcome our dear guest, that is Susana Abundis from Mexico. She lives in Mexico City. She's a wonderful artist, a great friend, and we are going to learn a lot about her today, and she's going to show us her works and comment that. And so whenever you are ready to share her work, we would love to see it. Thank you.
All right.
Welcome, Susana.
Hello, how are you? Good morning from Mexico.
Yes, good evening from France.
Yes.
Okay, so as always, we would like to invite our friends to connect with our guest artist. Today we have Susana, of course. In Instagram, you may locate her handle, Abundis, that's her last name, and just add PINT. And of course, Susana is also on Facebook. Just look for Susana.Abundis. Susana, we always hear at John's Live, our PowerPoint presentation would always include some sample artworks or artworks, and we would like to hear anything from you to share about each of your artworks here, beginning with this piece.
Okay, this work is the model is my nephew. She's really beautiful, so I asked her to model for me. In this case, the background, the circle behind her head is made with Daniel Smith ground gold color. I love the texture, so I try to do some different textures with the gold, and those little things you see, like, I don't know, like little balls, are made from encaustic. That is painting made with beeswax, but everything else is just watercolor. Here I try to make a little story about this little bird talking with Ainoa, that's the name of my nephew. And the work name is A Little Bird Told Me. And I don't know what else I can say. I just can tell you that I really love make textures with watercolor, and I try to do that in the background and in the
foreground. The foreground.
Yes. And in the blouse of her, and in the foreground too, with the Daniel Smith grounds are I love that ground gold. It really, I can even make texture with the ground, so you can see in the circle behind her head.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Okay. This one,
I have a quick question for you, Susana. I have a quick question for you. On the previous image, do you also have gold leaf as jewels around the edge of the halo? Gold leaf?
No, it's
Pan de
gold.
oro.
No. It's encaustic.
Encaustic.
The little balls are encaustic. Everything else is just ground, Daniel Smith ground gold.
Amazing, beautiful. Thank you.
So is that the iridescent gold watercolor ground?
How?
Iridescent
Yes.
gold watercolor ground from Daniel Smith?
Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, this one, I really love this painting. I made this during the pandemic. I managed to take a photo of this beautiful woman without the mask. She is a native of, I don't know how to say it. She's from the Estado de Mexico. She's wearing her special dress that they love, that many people now from that place don't like to use. And she is embroidering. With this painting, I win a prize. I try to make the face and the hand really realistic. And because I love textures, I try to make some texture in the background with sand. I use paper sand and sand the paper to get that atmosphere. And
so you mean you sand the paper so that it gets some granulation? Is that what you mean?
Yes, when you sand it, you obtain those white spaces. So you can give your painting a little bit of atmosphere.
That's lovely.
When I don't like a part of a painting, I sand it.
That's so clever.
That's
Really
very
clever.
smart.
This one.
I have to take that tip.
Do you sand?
In this painting isn't
Do you sand the paper after you have painted and it?
When I finish, I sand the paper, because if you sand it and you paint it, you lose that effect. So it's the last thing I do is to sand the paper.
Excuse me, another the white blouse on the neck. Did you use masking?
No.
No. Okay.
I don't like to use masking very much. So because when I learn, I learn to paint very carefully and avoid the white. So I use sometimes the masking, but not very much. In this case, I didn't use.
Thank you.
Fabulous work.
Okay, this is a self-portrait. I start making. I want to make a self-portrait with monochromatic, but I can't. I want to use some of my granulating watercolors. I have the Sleeping Beauty, so I want to use it, and I mix it with another colors, and that's the result. In the part of the head, the texture is made with just water, just drops of water, and in the low part of the painting, it's sanded. I use one more time sandpaper. Because I want to.
This is so atmospheric, it's so beautiful.
I was trying to make exactly that kind of atmospheric effect, and it's so not very dark. The darks are very soft because I didn't want that high contrast. I want this softer.
I love it. This sanding makes a very antique look, and I love it very much.
Susana, I would like to read. Sorry, I would like to read a comment.
What she's thinking.
Lucy said, "I love the idea of hiding behind a fan while exposing oneself in a self-portrait. Philosophical power." She asked. Yes, what Stella was saying. Yeah.
Okay, I have a lot of self-portraits because I not always have the chance to have a model, and use myself to paint, because the thing that I most like to paint is human figure. So when I don't have a model, I take myself and make some photos for my hands or for my head, and try to make some portraits, self-portraits. So.
Wow, fantastic.
Beautiful.
Thank you. This painting is I look like the other one, this another nephew, Steffi. And it's the same. I use the watercolor, Daniel Smith watercolor brown and gold, and try to make a lot of textures. You can see in the hair, the texture is just made with water too. And in the ground, I use water too. In this case, I didn't sand the painting. I just put the gold.
Susana, in many of your paintings, I see birds.
Yes, I love birds.
You love birds. Yes, I noticed that.
Maybe because they are so free, and when I paint, I am free. I'm really free when I paint. I don't like anybody tell me what to paint. I paint what I want. I don't care. Sorry, but I don't care if people like it or not. It's the more free I am when I paint, and birds represent that freedom. So that's why I paint a lot of birds.
I love the way the ground looks around her head.
Yes,
Hi, Sylvie.
Hi, Stella.
Yes, it is beautiful.
And this is what I'm. My last works are trying to experiment more with granulating colors, and I try to make some kind of effect with the hair. In this kind, I don't know if you can see some little flowers. That flowers
Oh,
were
yes.
real flowers.
Yes.
Yes.
I put the real flowers, but they some of them I can take it back, but some of them didn't go out because the petals are so delicate that they stay in the paper. But I like the effect. In this case, it's only watercolor, granulated watercolor.
Susana, what is the weight of the paper? Is it 300 gram cotton?
Yes, I usually use arches and 300 grams and fine grain.
So
Cold
smooth, like satin. Yes, cold press.
Yes, cold press. Fine grain cold press. And sometimes I use Fabriano because I have a great blog that they gave me Fabriano. Maybe this one is made in Fabriano. But it's fine. It's 300 grams and it's cold press too.
Wow. Okay. Is there another slide?
Okay. With this painting, I participate in Fabriano. This was the first time I tried to do something with granulated watercolors. In this case, I use liquid masking to block the white part of the head because I really don't want to get that part dirty. But I love the way that texture was, but it was really difficult because I have to do it by parts and try to keep the same diagonal. In this case, this is a dancer. In Mexico, in the north of Mexico, we have some groups that consider the deers sacred. And this is some kind of dance that the dancer dance like a deer. I make all the movements like a deer, and it's very, very interesting part of the culture in Mexico. And I love the way that dance is. So that's why I choose to make this painting.
Susana, everyone is asking how you do the hair. So we cannot wait to see how you do these textures.
Okay, I'm going to try to do it now. This painting is a part of experimentation too. That I love making very realistic painting, but I love do the textures and effects too. So I try to combine them. In this case, these are two women. When I try to make her heads more realistic, but I let the rest of the painting very loose. I try to make some atmosphere too. So I sand the paper too in some parts. And I really like it. I feel like they are in another planet. So that's why the name is Cosmic
Totally.
Travel.
Totally. I love this painting.
Yes, I love it too.
And that will be the last image in the slides.
Okay.
Yes. So Susana, are you going to do some, show us how to do some textured hair? We would love to see that. Whenever you're ready, you can start.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try to make the, okay, but let's do first the hair. I'm gonna try to put some color in the face. I don't wet the paper very much. Just going to point some color in the face.
Is that your Sleeping Beauty?
No, this is cobalt.
Oh, cobalt teal blue.
Yes. My Sleeping Beauty, I have it in another palette and I use it not very much.
Yeah. Okay.
And I love that color, but I don't use it so much. Okay. For the effects in the hair, I usually use the painting very thick. I make some combination of different colors. In this case, I have lunar black, soda light, rose of ultramarine, cobalt, lunar red rock, lunar earth, and French ultramarine.
Wow.
And I'm gonna try to mix all the colors very, very, very thick. I make some
amazing
paste with it. So when I when I put the painting, I put the paint really thick, and I always tell my students to be brave.
Very brave. Come on. And dry paper. Wow.
Almost dry. It's almost dry. Yes. Except this part because it's where I put paint. And I'm gonna make it in two sections. First, this part and the other part next. But you can see now that I'm putting a lot of painting, very, very thick, as I said. I take it.
Can you bring it down a little bit, please? We cannot see the top. No, down. Yes, yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So I put the painting really thick. I try to put a little water, but not very much, just enough to the painting stays wet. Not very wet, but okay. And I'm going to start putting water. I'm going to put some water here because I don't want this was too goes too dark.
Love the different hues in the mixture.
Yes, up, it works. Okay, so I'm gonna move my paper to have some kind of inclination. I'm putting a little bit water, just some drops. I'm not trying to wet very much because if I do that, the painting is going to get to wash. Now I'm going to take a brush and put just water in the brush. I'm going to make some lines, different lines, to try
Can
to.
you repeat? Can you repeat which colors are you using?
Yes, it's soda light. It's Luna Black. It's Rose of
They are in the
Ultramar.
chat.
Yeah, the colors are in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. If you see, I use some brush and I put a little lines with water. You don't have to go as the hair because I'm not trying to get her the hair perfect. I'm just trying to make some texture. Here I'm gonna try to get a little more close to the face, but not very much. And I start moving the paper so it can, the water moves in different ways. If I don't want to wet the whole paper, I can use this brush. I put it in the water and then I can just spray it more controlled, the water.
Does it have to be a heart? The hairs of the brush need to be hard?
These are made of big hair.
Pig's hair, yeah.
Like
Oil.
Not the soft
brush.
brush.
oil brush, exactly.
Ah, okay, okay.
This I learned this from Darío Cayo from Peru.
Yes, he uses that.
To just spray the water in the places he wants, because sometimes these launch very open the spray, and you can wash your painting. So in this case, I can control where I want the water goes. And I can make some lines to help the water find the way. This way.
It's the edges. It's amazing how the texture comes in from the edges.
Yes.
It starts down and it's like starts creeping into the hair.
Yes, it's more. There are more water here, so the texture is more granulated. Here's some like cracking, and here is more granulated.
Yeah, true. Do you find that the soft press, the hot press paper is better for granulation? Does it give you more granulating effects?
I haven't used the hot press for this because when I used my first time I used cold press paper, I didn't like the experience very much because I was trying to do some textures and I couldn't hack them. But I haven't tried with these granulating colors. Maybe it works better. I heard Nicolas Lopez said that he used to make some granulating things with the hot press paper. Okay, I put some turquoise here in the hair. while it's wet, and I'm going to put a little more water. I'm having my paper with some inclination. It's for making this, you have to be a little patient. When you start putting water, sometimes the texture doesn't really shows, but you have to wait a little, because if you don't don't do that, you keep putting water and keep putting water, and when you notice, you wash everything. So we have to be a little patient to let the water starts moving and do the job. If you see, there's a lot of texture now.
Susana, this technique also works very much for painting rocks to get that texture.
Yes. But I in this case, the hair is really dark. You can make it lighter if you put more water, but I like in this case that the hair is really dark. For example, I can try to make some curls of some movement from the hair. So I use again a brush with only water, clean water, and make some lines while the watercolor is wet. So the water is going to make those lines. I try not to make many curls, but in this case, I want to do some just to give the sensation of the curly hair. But I don't do very lot of that because I don't want to lose the freshness of the texture. You can see the water is making his own way. And it's
Yes, fantastic.
I'm going to put a little water. I try to use this. This is really good, but it's very fine. It's like mist. I don't like this in these textures because the water is really tiny. I prefer big drops so that the texture goes better with it. Yeah, and it's better with a few drops and bigger. And I move the paper in different ways so the water can move and make different paths.
Spontaneity and control together.
Excuse me?
You don't lose the spontaneity, and there is still control in that.
Yes, a little bit controlled.
Yes.
The first time I saw Lunar Black was in 2019 with Angelo Borlini in Fabriano. And I'm in love with the effects, but you have to practice a lot to get the results that you want because it's a little bit difficult to manage to make the painting do what you want. But I'm trying a little bit to. Okay, I'm going to dry the paper so I can continue here, and I don't want this part is wet. I'm going to take the audio out.
I think the effects are gorgeous. You can see the color separating. Part of these effects, I think, is the ultramarine blue that has ultramarine and a red. It's wonderful.
Yes, this color is the rose of ultramarine. It's really strong. When the water opens the painting, it's the color that looks more than any other. Okay, now I'm going to try to do the other part. And it's the same. I'm going to put a lot of painting. The soda it's really, really nice. I love this color. I love all the granulated Primatech colors. Really like them. But the lunar black is my ultra favorite. A little bit more of ultramarine, rose of ultramarine. So I'm going to do the same thing. Maybe this time I'm trying to put a little bit less of color. And now I'm going to try to be careful with the face. I'm going to put a little water here because in this case, I'm going to wet just a little the paper. And the face has to be wet, dry. And this time I wet a little bit the paper because I don't want the paint dry, because I'm painting a little not so fast because I'm trying to protect the form of the face. And this side, I want to try to put the color light.
Susana, tienes 27 minutos, te quedan. Tienes mucho tiempo todavía.
This kind of textures.
Pardon me, can you move your painting more and yeah, so that we can see where, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
In fact, we can use different colors to make this kind of textures. It's obvious. It obviously works better with granulated colors, but I use another colors, and I managed to make some kind of texture, not the same, but some kind. Okay. I'm going to put some water here. In this case, it's a lot of water, so it's washing. Because I want to lose a little bit the texture here. So if I put a lot of water, it washes. In this case, I'm going to I'm putting big drops of water, and I'm going to make a little lines with clean water with my brush to have the sensation of the hair. Take a little soda light. I'm going to move the paper so it can help the water move too. Let's the water do its job. And sometimes if there's some places where I want to get more darker because the water wash very much the color, I can add some more color, like in this case. I'm going to put more color here.
So amazing. It looks like Mother Earth.
Yes. The first time I make this effect as a hair, I really love it. So I've been doing different portraits for my workshops or for my classes with my students.
Mhm.
And I really, really love the effect and the sensation. As you say, it's like Mother Earth.
Mhm.
In this case, for example, sometimes the lunar black, when you spray it, little dots of painting fly. But
Yes.
in this case, I don't very worry about it because it make some kind of texture in the hair, like atmosphere too. Okay. I'm not using the heat gun because now I want the painting still moving with the water. I don't want to put that effect drying the paper. I'm going to put a little more painting here because it's too, I want a little bit more darker here. When I like the textures like here, I try not to move it anymore or put it water because I can do that. I can wash it and I don't want to.
But all the time, Susana, when are the canals open and you can wet it with water, the paper just work and the color too.
Yes.
It's amazing.
You have to move the paper all the time. Well, if you have the paper in just one position, the water is just going to make those waves in the same.
Yes, you use the gravitation.
Yes, different angles to obtain different paths of the water in the painting.
Thank you so much.
A little bit close, so you can see all the texture. When I put, it looks black, but now the rose of ultramarine, a little bit of cobalt, and the lunar earth are emerging.
Wow.
Susana, Lucy's asking, can she mention again how thick the paint mixture on the palette was, please?
Okay, yes. In this case, I use a cobalt blue, a lunar red rock, lunar earth, soda light genuine, French ultramarine, and lunar black. Sometimes, in this case,
but Susana, how thick was the paint mixture?
Very thick. I almost just wet the brush and start making this mix very, very thick, like cream, like pasta. It's very, very thick. So because if you put it very thick in the paper, when you put the water just cannot wash everything and make this big chunks of painting. When the painting is more not so thick, you obtain this kind of granulation. It's smaller. The chunks of paint are smaller than here. Here the painting was really thick, and here the painting was a little bit wet. So the difference is the size of the granulation. Okay, it's smaller.
Thank you, there. Yes, it makes sense. Thank you.
Yes, and sometimes I made a painting, a big painting, but it's I don't have it here now. But I wanted to have the sensation of more than a forest, and then I use gold green and another greens in the mix with lunar black and with ultramarine blue and burnt sienna, and the colors were amazing. It looks like a forest. Okay.
Listen, we have here Victoria's in the room. I think she's one of your students.
Yes.
And she mentions the way she controls water and paint is amazing. And with her help, I made a forest. So great.
Yes, we made a forest with exactly
That's
those.
Fantastic.
Yes, with greens. Hi, Vicky. Okay, I'm going to dry this part so I can start working with the hair in the face, because I don't know how many time I have now.
Susana, you have now 15 minutes exactly.
Does she hear when she dries?
Yes, she just closed the microphone. I think she switched the microphone off.
Yeah, but does she, I'm just curious. Do you hear when you dry the paper and we are talking? Does she hear?
Yeah. It's too.
Now I can hear you now. What did you ask me? Because I didn't hear
Yeah,
you.
you can hear what I said. I said you have 15 minutes left.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to do it faster. Now I'm going to make some, put some color in the face. I usually take more time to do these kind of things, but okay. In this case, the face is not going to show very much because there are going to be hair on it. But I'm gonna try to put some color here. My technique to make portraits usually is put so many layers, very much layers, so it's a little bit, I need more time to do a proper portrait. But in this case, I'm gonna try to do it the faster as I can. For example, I can move the painting here. Make the neck look better.
The result is almost a monochromatic painting, but full of different colors.
Yes.
That explodes in different colors. Yeah,
Yes.
Fantastic effect.
And it's not only the techniques and the colors. Susana puts so much emotions in her paintings. There is always a beautiful story that makes you think and imagine and visualize. And that is for me, Susana, the value of your painting.
Thank you very much for your words. It means a lot for me.
Well, she's absolutely right. We can all feel, get connected to your painting.
Yes.
I'm going to.
Some people are asking about the colors for the face. Which one is it?
The paints I'm using now?
Yes, the color for the face. Which colors are you using?
I'm using natural sienna mixed with vermilion, or you can use cadmium red. I use vermilion.
Yes.
And for the more pink parts, I love opera pink.
Love that.
I know you do.
But you don't, Stella. You don't.
No, I don't. I don't use it. But I love it.
And I'm using a little bit of cobalt blue, cobalt turquoise. This part of the shadows, because I want to feel very ethereal. The face it's very clear, not very dark. And the granulating colors sometimes make they are very easy to lift. So I can move it to help me to make these parts a little bit softer. Here, for example, if I make this, I move a little bit with the painting here. So I can, so the painting, the edge is more soft.
Kurt is saying, totally magical. So very, very beautiful. Thank you for sharing your wonderful talent.
Thank you very much. Put a little bit more of this vermilion. My watercolor teacher is Patricia Guzman, and I learned to make the portraits in a lot of layers. So for me, it's difficult to make this painting in so short time, because I used to make a lot of layers, very transparent layers, to get the more realistic effect in the skin.
Well, thank you for doing this fast demo for you. But if you don't finish, don't worry. You can share later. You can finish it at home, and then you can share the photo of your finished work. But we really love to see your process. Thank you so much for sharing it.
To do a little bit of the hair in the head.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to make it a little bit faster. Here is the arm.
Griselda Abundis is your sister, or?
Oh, hi, Gris. It's my sister. I'm really happy.
Okay, she says, muchas felicidades, hermosa pintura, she says.
My family not always see my work. It's fun, but it happens. And I'm very happy that she's now here. Okay. I'm going to dry this.
You don't need to switch the sound off because Zoom will do it automatically. Yes, it's cobalt teal blue, not cobalt blue, but cobalt teal blue. The shadow on her face.
Technique is something you can learn, you can imagine, you can imitate, you can invent yourself, but everything else is the heart, and that is for me a wonderful thing to watch her paintings, because they have so much emotion.
Yes, I agree.
I agree, Stella. You're right.
It's the most important, Stella.
Yes, it is.
Susana, you have 6 minutes left or 7 minutes.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay. I'm just trying to make a little bit of the hair, sorry. because I want to make some of the hair that's on the face. I hope I have time to do that.
We have another comment by Cheryl Poletis. Do you know her, Susana? Cheryl Poletis. Okay, she says it's been a pleasure to see her, to see you paint. Thank you for sharing your beauty.
Okay, sorry, I didn't listen everything because I was using the
fun, yeah. Cheryl Politis is saying that it was a pleasure to see you paint.
Oh, thank you.
So you have a big fan club. You have a big fan club.
I'm honored. Thank you. Okay, now I'm using the same mix of painting that I have here, but I'm adding a little bit more of water because I don't want the hair in the face is too dark, because it's not going to be so, it's not going to give that softness. So I prefer to do it with a little more lighter colors. Okay, and now I'm going to use my new brush. I hope I can do it to make the union of the texture with a little bit of hair. This brush is like the Hunsun was using. So I bought it thinking maybe I can paint like him there because he's like magic when he make hair.
He is.
So I'm trying this brush now.
And
Okay.
so are you, Susana.
Okay, now it's the real moment to be brave because I'm going to put the hair on the face.
That's very, very brave. Oy.
Wow.
Another thing that I'm gonna hope I have time is to take a little lights with in this case I have these brushes that are made of Taclon, is synthetic, and I try to lift a little bit of lights. This is very, very little, so I can make fine lines to obtain some little light hairs. It's too wet. Use my liner to try to make some more hairs here. Okay. I think the time is almost over. I'm not sure.
Yes, Susana, it's past, but you can take a couple more minutes if you need them. Don't worry.
Okay. Okay, it's almost finished.
We love it.
I can share the finished painting with you later.
Yes, please.
Beautiful. Wow. Amazing.
Amazing.
Yes.
I'm very happy that
Whenever
you
you can, we love it. Can you please remove the blue tape? We love the reveal moment.
Yes.
Susana, this is beautiful.
It's
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Very, like Stella says, it's very soulful. She's very soulful in that painting.
It is.
Yes.
All of her paintings are
Yeah.
beautiful.
Thank
Wow.
you so much. It was a great
Thank you.
demonstration.
Yes, it was.
It was a great, great demonstration. We love it. And it's so encouraging for us to try
Yeah.
these effects.
It's
And
very,
we
very,
learned
very-
a lot, Susana.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Susana.
Susana.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Susanna.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Happy
you,
4th,
Susanna.
everybody.
Thank you. We love it. And
Thank
and
you.
see you next week, hopefully.
Yes.
Wonderful
Share the
weekend,
photo with us.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks,
Wow.
Susana.